people are tapping with the pot with Tigmatic.
Y'all tuned into the Pop Podcast. And guess what? There's an episode of me on
and you are tuned into the Pot Podcast.
With the Pop Podcast with my boy Tigmatic. You hear me? It's going down. To follow the Pot Podcast with Tigmatic.
That's that number one.
That's that number one.
Yo, what's up, y'all? You're now tuned into another episode of the Podcast with Tigmatic. Hey, listen, it's your boy, we here. I hope y'all feeling good on this Wednesday. I know y'all ain't seen me Monday. Life was lifing. Forgive me. But if you wanted to watch me Monday, you already know I'm also on Hollywood. But speaking of which, this episode was brought to you by Hollywood TV, Hollywood Radio, Dollar Radio, Going In Radio, DemoniBrand.com, and NorthShadeDeMoreBoutique.com. I'm sorry. Hey, listen, I'm feeling good, y'all. I got my guest in the back. She's here. She's one of those ones. She's one of the folks, and she's a shaker and move out here. She's an entrepreneur. She's an activist. And I'm pretty sure she's going to tell y'all a bit more of what she does. But listen, this is also Grassroots Family. This is also brought to you by BLM Grassroots. Black Lives Matter Grassroots is Black Lives Matter. Straight like that. If you don't know, now you know. But like I said, without further ado, I'll give y'all my guest, YoNasDa LoneWolf, and I'm gonna bring her in here right now. Hey.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just driving, so everyone has. I apologize. It's life be lifing. Exactly.
Life be lifing.
Said. And so, but yeah, I'm always moving and shaking and going and everything. So I'm driving, but
as you should.
Hopefully everyone can hear me well.
Yes, we can hear it. So, I like to give my guests a formal introduction of themselves and let them do it themselves. So the floor is yours, Queen.
Well, thank you so much. My name is YoNasDa LoneWolf. I am a proud Oglala, Lakota, Native American, and Black woman. I am a mother of 2 sons, and most importantly, I am born in this movement, and I have been a sister, an auntie, to so many, and a friend to so many in this movement and organizing. I was born during the longest walk, which was a protest from Alcatraz, San Francisco to Washington, D.C. And it was by the American Indian movement. My mother helped organize that protest, and she had me when they got to D.C. And it's the reason why we're able to have the Freedom of Religious Act today. And so I literally have been born in this movement. That's all I know is activism, is freedom fighting. But yeah, it's been a long 47 years of
Hey,
fighting for freedom, justice, and equality.
1978, born and raised.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to say once again, welcome. It's good to have you
Yeah.
here, and it's good to
Thank
see you
you.
again.
Thank you. Yeah, it was so good to see you as well. And in LA, we had a phenomenal time for
Yes,
the BLM grassroots convening. And I think one of my highlights was just to see all of the chapters all come together, but also too when us being by the bonfire and
that was
by
awesome.
that water. Yeah, anytime I'm by some water, I am in heaven. And then with good people as well. And we was making marshmallows and everything. So that was phenomenal.
Yeah, it definitely was a bonding experience. I'll never
Yes.
forget, and I can't wait till we do the next one.
Yes.
All right. So let's get into it. Since we don't have a lot of time, we're going to get right into it, okay?
Okay.
All right. You were literally born in the middle of activism during the longest walk of 78.
Yes.
How has that shaped your mental and spiritual foundation?
Everything. It's put me on guard. It has put me, sometimes some people look at conspiracy theories. I'm like, well, that's not a conspiracy theory. That is reality.
Yeah.
I literally have been, my mother was a political prisoner. May God be pleased with her. Her name was Wauneta LoneWolf. She was the first Native American to work for NBC. She also was Muhammad Ali's public relations director. And
Oh,
she
that's
was the
awesome.
woman she was the woman behind the Thriller Manila, the Rumble in the Jungle. And she just was phenomenal. And then she ended up meeting the Honorable Miss Louis Farrakhan because she worked for Muhammad Ali. So she was introduced into the Nation of Islam. And with that, the Honorable Miss Louis Farrakhan asked my mother to help her, to build to bridge Native Americans with the Black community. And so with that, she ended up helping him and Muammar Gaddafi, former president of Libya, put
Yeah.
on these indigenous conferences that they would have in Libya. And because of that, this was in the early 80s. The government did not like that. Gaddafi was financing and helping so many freedom fighters, not just in America, but all over the world. He was really wanting people to be liberated from oppression. And so he was financially helping so many. And so I remember as a child having to go to school and seeing two white guys, just following me to school. And I was 6, 7 years old. And it became normal to me to always see, someone staring at me, someone following me. My mother showed me what a bug looks like at a very early age.
Yeah.
She told me, she had me just really be on guard, because of because they wanted my mom to be an informant and my mother would not be an informant, against Muammar Gaddafi, against the Honorable Miss Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. My mother was sentenced to 4 to 7 years in prison. And that's
Mm,
when the Honorable Miss Louis Farrakhan adopted me and my brother. So he is Pops, Grandpa, Dad, and he adopted me and my brother when I was about 6, 7 years old.
that's
And
awesome.
and when my mother came out of prison, she ended up really working in wellness and helping Native Americans, with helping them, get off of drugs and alcohol abuse and substance abuse, and as well as gangs. The youth get out of gangs. And with that, she was just did so much amazing things, and she ended up being She ended up passing away of lung cancer in 2003.
My condolences.
And so, yeah, so, that transition for me, I just saw what, tell me if you can still hear me.
I can still hear you.
Oh,
We're
okay.
still
Okay,
here.
good. Okay. What that was a big
Oh, we lost you.
fight.
We lost you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. There
Okay.
you go.
I was so used to seeing her fight and everything, and then seeing her go into a place of wellness was new. And then, but it was also calming. And so I also understand I currently am battling stage 4 lung cancer. I got cancer when I was in Standing Rock, because the government was spraying us with different forms of chemicals and all types of different chemicals. And so those of us that was in Standing Rock, there's been cases of over 100 people that have been diagnosed with various forms of cancer, as well as 20 people that have already passed away of cancer. And so, even myself is very similar to my mother's path in regards to fighting, fighting, fighting. And then now I'm in a place of wellness, and now I own a nonprofit called Revolutionary Healing, which I do every month. I do wellness retreats in Georgia.
Okay. Okay, in Georgia.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. We can see a little better.
Yeah. So when you're saying all of, yeah, so when you're saying that we, in regards to like the place of, um, how did that shape me? I believe that in regards to revolution, the most revolutionary act that you can do is heal.
Yeah.
Um, and one of the things that my grandfather, the minister, what he have said is that there is the basis of community development is self-improvement. The
Yeah.
basis of community development is self-improvement. So um, when we talk about improving our community, we have to self-improve. We A lot of times we constantly point the finger outwards and not inward,
That's right.
and so that is something that it took cancer for me to learn that. And I know that it had to have take cancer for my mother to also, what I think it may have took prison from my mother to begin to start looking at how she views revolution.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
I want to say one thing before I say anything else is my heart goes out to you.
Thank you.
You are one hell of a fighter, and
Thank you.
you don't look like what you've been
Thank you.
through. you
Thank you
know,
so much.
and I wouldn't have known that. And I was a few days old. I said this before we went on. I was
Yes.
today years old when I found out you were the granddaughter of the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. But
Yes.
also, reading your story, from when you sent me everything, I did not know, that you had cancer, and I can relate to that because I lost my mother-in-law to cancer, and my wife
Mm.
had cancer. Um,
Mm. What
my,
kind?
my wife, she beat the cancer, but
Oh, boy,
I don't
beautiful.
know what kind.
Yes.
Uh, but my wife had it in her lung. They had to cut it out,
Mm.
and she's here
Oh,
by the grace of
good.
God. Thank God for that. But
Praise
um,
God.
yes, so I can attest to the struggle of
Yes.
what that's like. So my heart goes out to you for that.
Thank
And
you. This was my mom.
oh, that's awesome. Hold on, let me put a solo cam on it. Here
Yeah.
we go.
That was Wauneta LoneWolf.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the like
What?
some of the clips of the Thriller of Manila and stuff like that on your site, and I thought
Yes.
it was pretty awesome. With Muhammad Ali and your mama, it was pretty dope.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I thought that was dope.
Thank
All
you.
right. So growing up with your mom though, right? She was a
Mm-hmm.
healer and a motivator, right? And the
Yeah.
father was an artist, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did that balance of art and activism influence your identity?
Man, I fell in love with hip hop, which is exactly that. It's art and activism.
That's a fact.
I fell in love with hip hop. I fell in love with hip hop when I was in LA at Venice Beach, and my mom was on a run from the feds. and and I saw Rocksteady Crew, you and just break dancing, and it was just a form of like, wow, like of freedom, of liberation. I was always around everyone just building and talking about, just how we should be and how our freedom should look like, but I never heard it behind some type of dope beat. And and so to hear Public Enemy and to hear Big Daddy Kane and Rakim, and the list goes on and on, it was like, wow, like, man, these are people that are speaking my language. Like this, like they understand me, and so with that being said, I started rapping. I
Word.
used to rap. Yeah, I was rapping. I was like, like I had. I mean, if anyone want to listen to my old stuff, But I end up being on tour with Raekwon, Wu-Tang
Word.
Clan. Yeah, like the last tour I did was in 2012. I co-headlined the Built for Cuban Links 2 tour with Raekwon. Um,
Okay.
yeah, my ex-husband is Capadonna from the Wu-Tang Clan.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a part of the management team of
Legends
Wu-Tang.
right here.
Yeah, I'm a layered woman, and so that's what brought me, like, I would say, like, just a blend of my mother and my father. Like my father used to be in a group, he used to sing and all of that. He passed away this year. He was in
Our
and out of
condolences
prison most
once
of.
again.
Thank you. Yeah, he was in and out of prison most of my life, but yeah, he did art, he did all of that, and just sang and everything. And then my mother, with her being in entertainment and activism and everything, it just was like, it was a no-brainer for me to be able to really get into entertainment. And then I began to start using entertainment in activism and putting and blending that together. I love, to this day, I love blending entertainment and really edutainment. That's what I call it. I love,
Entertainment. I like that.
yeah, edutainment. I love blending that together,
Yeah. Same here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Same here.
yeah.
So I'm gonna go off script for a second.
No, you good. You good.
Okay. So my question to you right now, because now you just told me some other stuff about you rapping,
Yeah.
my head start, firing up,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So what was your rap? Your rap name was the same as your name?
Mhm. It was Queen. So Queen YoNasDa was my rap name. So my
Okay.
name is YoNasDa, which means precious jewel in Navajo. Queen, when Capadonna met me, he was we was working with a mutual producer in Baltimore, and he was like, yo, who is that? Like, and he was like, man, so the producer called me. He ended up calling, he was like, yo, I got Capadonna in the suit. I'm like, what, Capadonna from Wu-Tang, Like
Yeah.
I was a fan. I mean, who's not a fan? Like this was
Right.
like, this was like 2004, you know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
yeah, it wasn't like the 90s. Like this was like 2004.
This was like
And
the hype off of them coming back
yeah,
off
yeah,
off
yeah.
their
This
their
was,
new
yeah.
album.
Yeah,
Okay.
ODB already passed away, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So they're already like pioneers, you know what I'm saying? Like in 2004. And so anyway, so he was like, I want to do 7 songs with you. And then he was like, he said, I think you should, well, he's like, what's your name? And I was like, YoNasDa. He was like, let's call you Queen. Like, let's bring queenness back into hip hop. Like Queen Latifah, he's like, everyone's calling themselves a bee and all types of stuff. Let's bring queenness back into that. So it
Yeah.
just kind of stuck. And since then, I don't rap anymore. My son, art like me and his son, like he raps, he sings, he acts, he does everything. And he took all my talent after I gave birth to him. That's why my last tour and everything was 2012 because he was born in 2011, and so he took all my talent. Like I can't even don't even ask me to freestyle. Like I will be like the cat in the hat. Like I am horrible right now. I don't even remember like a lot of my rhymes by heart. But yeah, you can listen to them on Apple Music.
Oh, that's what's up. That's
Yeah.
definitely what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got some bars, huh?
Yeah. And the thing was is that like I think what it was I worked with No ID, and No ID said to me, he said, tell your story in one song.
That's right.
Like, he said if you could tell your story in one song, he was like it would last a lifetime. And the name of the song I did with No ID was called So Special. And I told my story in one song. And so all of my music was it's timeless because every rhyme that I wrote was my story. I didn't boast about nothing. It was all about exactly my story. And so I feel like now at 47, I have two books that's on Amazon, which is a fictional book about it's the Adventures of Star Song, and it's about a Native American and Black girl, orphan girl that gets powers by her ancestors. And I also have a book called Journey to Peace, and then I have music. And so, these type of things are to outlive me. And if anyone wants to hear my music or if anyone wants to read my book, these are the things that would share my story. And I have not yet begin working on my autobiography, but these are the things that so far that would share my testimony and my story.
Oh, that's awesome. I
Yeah.
think that it's awesome that you're telling your story and you're getting
Thank
it out to the masses. Um,
Yes. Yeah.
I definitely appreciate what you do. And I also appreciate your boots on the ground,
Thank you.
as we would say. So let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about your activism. Did you feel like it was just only right to step into the same position as mom? Or did you just want to get as much of a feel for it and then dive right in?
I was forced into it. I was forced into it, whether I liked it or not. My mother, you know what though? My mother had me in a place of she always had me in a place of being at the table. It wasn't like we're gonna go march. It was like you're gonna come to this meeting of us planning this march. Arizona was the last state to get the Dr. King holiday.
Mm-hmm.
So my mother, with her influence in the sports, her and her movement family was able to get the football players to boycott the Super Bowl in Arizona in order for us to for us to finally get the Dr. King holiday. I was in those meetings. My mother made sure that not me just coming with my mom. She was like, okay, we got to hear from the youth. And then she used to always tell me, get your friends together. You're coming to this meeting. We got to hear from the youth. Like my mother made it a priority at everything. I was actually a part of the youth committee for the city of Phoenix. Like my mother made sure that I was always in the room in an organizing space and not in a place of like, oh, that's, that's Wauneta's daughter and she's just going to sit there and, and just doodle or whatever. We didn't have phones then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like
We
she
had
wanted to
paper and
make
pencil.
paper and pen, yeah, and doodle, so, but no, my mother wanted to make sure that, and she always made sure that I always had a place at the table. And so I would say that, um, it was, what was my trigger moment? To really like, so when my mother passed, um it was like now I'm on my own. You know what I'm saying? Like now I'm on
Right.
my own. And that's when I really was like, when my mother was alive towards the end, I started like, I'm going in on music. I don't think that my mother, because she knew I was so into hip hop as well, I don't think that my mother would ever think that I would be a national organizer. Like I don't think that she would have I think she would have thought that I would have continued to pursue music because I was so into hip hop. But
Yeah.
on top of it, I think she knew that I was also going to be a national organizer because she also had me going into these rooms and being at the table and organizing as well. Like she probably saw something in me I didn't see in myself at the time. But my
Absolutely.
trigger moment for me, I wouldn't say it's a trigger, but it was in 2005. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan asked me to help him with the Millions More movement. And he said, I need you to get Native Americans to come to the Millions More movement, like basically in a place that my mother was doing. And I
Okay.
was like, I don't know how to do this. He said, you could do this. And I called my mother's crew of activists and elders and Chief Ernie Longwalker and Warrior Woman and some other people. I said, can you all help me? How do I do this? And they guided me. And that was my first big march. It was the 10th anniversary. Well, I think at that time, yeah, it was the 10th anniversary of the Million Man March, the Millions More movement. And then after that, I just continued to be in that space for the minister in regards to, um, bridging community and people that are not in the nation to be a part of the Nation of Islam events and to be speakers and to be performers and,
Oh, that's
to
awesome.
be guests. Yeah. And so, like, our annual Savior's Day conventions, putting on that convention, I just learned so much. And so, yeah. And then in regards to boots on the ground, I think I think I was always boots on the ground of being of service to people. When from earthquakes to hurricanes to Flint to even police brutality,
Yes.
always being boots on the ground.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's very important, you know, for the community to have someone that's very vocal like yourself. And even with the organizing, even in our meetings, you be handling it. And you listen, y'all, I need y'all to do this, 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 this.
Yeah.
And you're on point. So you're awesome with
Yeah.
what you do. And I thank you very much. It means
Thank
a lot to us. If no one said it, I'm gonna say it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I think that, like, I think I'm in a place now of, cancer changes a lot.
It does.
And when I got diagnosed with lung cancer was the same day that I organized one of the largest protests at the CNN building in Atlanta, Georgia,
Mm,
for George Floyd in 2020. So you may have seen it on the news, or you probably was busy outside yourself. But like CNN was turned up down here in
yeah.
Atlanta, and I organized that in less than 24 hours. And that morning, I found out I got lung cancer. And that was, and I know you have a lot of activists watching this, so this is gonna so I would love to share this. We when I got the when I it was like, basically I got the news and I said, no, I still need to be out there for the people. I need to be out there for the families. I need to be there. And then my crew here in Atlanta was like, only one person, his name is Marcus Coleman. He said, get your behind home.
Mm.
And I said, no. He said, sis, you just found out you got cancer. Go home, go rest. I'm like, rest? What am I resting for? Like, like I'm turning up, like, cause
You
I'm
still had a
thinking
fight in you.
I still have a fight in me,
That's
but
right.
I had to change my viewpoint of what the fight is. And I would say I'm now 5 years of stage 4 lung cancer. I take a chemo. That's what I just took earlier, just while we was on this thing. I take a chemo pill every night. And
Okay.
um and the thing is that in these past 5 years I've learned a lot. And one of them is stripping my ego. One of the things that I felt, I didn't even realize it, was that sometimes we so what this is my thing. So it was everybody was outside. I organized I don't know if you saw the music video with little baby's music video that he had. It was like, and it ended up being one of the biggest songs for 2020. He shot the music video at the march that I organized. Now
Okay,
mind
it's bigger
you,
than us song.
yes, yes.
Okay.
So that was so I had Ti go, Ti call Luda. Like, we had Atlanta turn up for it or whatever. We didn't even know that little baby was shooting his music video. He just happened to bring his camera and shoot the video there, but I wasn't there. Now, mind you, I'm organizing from my bed because I had a horrible day that day with just getting on this chemo, trying to understand trying to get with my body and stuff.
Yeah,
The youth that I had around for that, they I'm watching them live stream and I'm crying because I want to be there.
yeah,
I'm like, I'm like I'm crying and everything. And Marquina is her name. She FaceTimed me and she said, sis, why are you crying? I said, I want to be there. She said, you are here.
that's right.
And I said, no, I'm not. She said, look around. You're here.
That's right.
You don't
Your
have to be
impact did
all
that.
up in the music video, all up in the camera, all up in the, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was my wake up call. Because
Yeah,
as activists, we feel that we have to be the ones that are all up in the camera, all with
all
the
out there front and
bullhorn
center.
and front and center, to feel like we are being active, to feel like
Yeah,
we that one. And whenever we're not all up in the front of everything, then we feel we're not doing nothing.
yeah. Dr. Portia
Or
Miller told me that a lot.
because
Like,
I
yo,
told
you
her
just
that.
started. Calm down.
Because I just told her that. I taught her that. You know what I'm saying? So that's my sister here. I told her that. Because I learned that. There was so many, it was one of those things where it was like, wow, my ego.
Yeah,
There's ego in activism. There's ego in, and then it has you see in regards to what is true leadership. Are
yeah,
you willing to sit back and see the liberation of our people move and shift and do, you know what I'm saying, without you being acknowledged for it?
right.
Or do you feel a certain way when your name is not brought up? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, so a lot of that was stripped from me. And a lot of that, because it took cancer for it to be, for me to take a seat, like to take a seat and to be able to like see things in a different way. So
Yeah,
now and it had me see like, wow, what is our intentions when we say we are freedom fighters, when we say we're activists? What is our true intentions? Can you still be an organizer, an activist, and a freedom fighter without being all everywhere in the front? Can you still be it behind the scenes? Can
That's
you
right.
still, you know what I'm saying, and still recently there was just last week, Jimmy Atchison documentary is being filmed right now. Jimmy Atchison was one of the cases that we fought for here in Atlanta, Georgia, that was murdered in January of 2019. And they shot him several times in a closet. He was unarmed.
Mm,
And his father, Jimmy Hill, man, we call him Unc, good friend of mine. And they it was all these other activists. To be honest with you, a lot of them wasn't even there. That's another thing. Wasn't
yeah,
even there when Jim, but they're popular now. But they wasn't there when Jimmy, was murdered and to fight for justice. So I got the call from one of the activists that was there and said, "Sis, I need you to be a part of this documentary." And I was like, "No." He was like, "No, you got to tell your story. You could tell my story.
yeah.
You
Because
could tell my
sometimes it's
story.
not always about you. Yeah,
It's
I get
not,
it.
it's not, it's not like you could tell my story, and that's really, to be honest with you, Tigmatic, I was reluctant on doing the interview, because I haven't done a lot of interviews in a while. I've really kind of been silent in a way. If anyone's following me on social media, I don't talk about things politically no more like that, especially for this year of 2020. I'm sorry, 2025, but I'm in this place of observing, and I'm in this place of doing a lot of things behind the scenes,
Yeah,
and I feel like if we look at the way that this president became president, if we read Project 2025,
25. Right. I've
if
been
we
telling
look
people that. Read it.
if we
It's
read it, if
crazy.
we exactly, and if we study the Heritage Foundation and all of those people that sponsored the churches, these mega churches, if we study the way that they moved prior to where we're at now, I mean, like the mandate of leadership was written in 1976 with
Yeah, a lot
Ronald
of these
Reagan.
things also fall in place with the King Alfred plan that they also wrote up as well. That a lot of
Yeah,
people don't know. Look up Rex 84, folks.
yeah, yeah.
It's real out here.
Yeah, they organize, not all up in the camera, not always posting. They organized in a certain way, and I feel like that's how we need to be effective. And that's how I'm moving. I think it's important to be able to know how to maneuver and move a certain way, and it took cancer for me to finally see, being born in the movement.
Yeah.
My grandfather, the Honorable Mensur Farrakhan, has been on a silent fast for almost 2 years now. He has
Mm,
been silent. And everyone's wondering, what does Farrakhan have to say? Anything that you are seeing is old videos. He has not spoken publicly in 2 years. He's on a silent fast.
mm.
And so, why is he on a silent fast? I don't know, but I'm learning from him, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe I need to also be silent. Maybe I
Hey,
also need
listen.
to learn and talk behind the scenes, and you know what I'm saying, and organize behind the scenes. And I think that that is important, because if not, we're going to continue to go down a road of a what's that called, of a hamster wheel,
Yeah.
and we end up becoming ambulance chasers for justice and event organizers instead of community organizers. We end up becoming event planners. instead of community organizers and then ambulance chasers for justice. We
Yeah.
always trying to find what's the next fight that we got to go fight. What's the next, instead of working on things of prevention. We
Yeah.
work on things of after it happens. We're like, okay, we're responders.
I can agree to that. And
Yeah.
one thing that I'm learning moving in the organization myself and having a chapter myself is the main thing that I'm learning most is be the asset.
Yes.
Be the asset. Don't,
Yeah.
like you just said, you ain't gotta be all up in the camera, you ain't gotta be all in the video. Yes, we are quoting Suge Knight, folks. We
Yeah.
Suge
Yeah.
Knight in the day.
Yeah, we are.
But but that's important. Be an asset. Help your community. How can I help?
Yeah.
That's key. And that's something that I'm learning. And, you know, Dr. Miller tell me all the time, look, you just started, you find that what you're doing right now is the part of the asset. Get the word out to as many people, highlight as many chapters as you can, and I'm on a mission. So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep
Yeah.
moving.
It's about where we're at right now. I feel is strengthening us, strengthening our community, preparing
Absolutely.
our community, teaching our community about agriculture, teaching our community about, mental health, having those
Yes,
therapists, those all of the different things of wellness is so key right now. And then as well as a village to help each other raise each other's children,
that's a fact.
these, and not just as parents, but even in regards to academia. A lot of the school system, they're failing because these children are indigo children. This generation is far beyond builders and visionaries than we ever can imagine, and
And
we
super
can't.
tech savvy.
Man, that's what I'm saying. They are literally like indigo, like they are. We we can't keep up with them, and
That's a
for that
fact.
reason, that's the reason why the teachers and the educational system do not know how to teach them. They're teaching them with old ways of teaching to kids that are far beyond advanced. They're so
That's,
advanced, and
that's true.
so we have to create a village to know how to be like, what are you doing? How are you doing this with your, with your child or with your student? What are you doing? Like, we have to create community. So while the world is burning, because the world is burning,
That's a fact.
within marginalized communities, we have to begin to start strengthening our community, knowing your neighbors. Are you there for your neighbors? Do you know their names? Do you help one another? I know my neighbors. We talk all the time. Like, I'm like, okay, what y'all need? Member, my neighbor, she's African. She's scared to go outside right now. I told her, I said, man, let me tell you right now, if they come to your house, it's on and popping, because I'm, you know what I'm saying? I already told her, like, it's on, like you good over here. Here's an attorney. Da 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 da. If something pops off, like, she knows. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
my
what's up.
neighbors know me, and we all know each other. And I think that that's where we're at, because it might get to a point where when we're looking at this National Guard and all of our in these cities or whatever like that, they're stirring the pot for a civil war. They're stirring the pot for, yep, they're stirring the
That's the
pot.
name of my other show too.
Yeah, they're stirring the pot for a civil war. They're stirring the pot to
Yeah,
try to get us turn up against each other. But we got to strengthen ourselves. So as activists and organizers, not ambulance chasers and event planners, but
that's
as
right.
activists and organizers, we have to begin to start strengthening our community and
Right.
everything that we do right now. And that's how
Agree with
people
you.
want to know, how can I get involved? Yeah, well, what do what are you putting together a potluck this weekend? Let's go ahead and let's just talk about, how to be able to make a meal with $10. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can we make, how do we farm? How do we make I was doing grow bags in my backyard. How do we grow a garden with grow bags? How do we chop wood? Like just
Yeah.
simple things.
These things are very important.
The
And also,
survival things.
in case of a natural disaster,
That part.
what if all the electric go away? All the produce is no longer in the supermarkets.
Yeah.
You got to learn, folks.
Yep, yep. And if we can't do it by ourselves, we're going to have to begin to each one teach one. And that's where we're at right now. So as we're learning all these line dances and learning where the fans are at and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? We got to also keep that same energy and empowering one another and teaching one another and bringing village back into marginalized communities.
That is so true.
That's where activism is at right now.
That's so true.
We can't
I
wait. This
agree with you there.
government's gonna fall. They're gonna continue shooting us. They're gonna continue firing us. My grandfather
Listen, I'm
said
shooting
during,
back.
yeah, we always marching for jobs and justice. Now it's time for us to create our own jobs and we have our own justice.
So speaking of which, you built
Yeah.
a great segue with that last line you just said there, which was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
You champion for Black and Native American businesses.
Yeah.
How does economic empowerment connect to mental health and healing?
I think that that's a great question. I don't know if economic and healing, okay, that was totally two different things. You
Yeah.
got
But you know why I asked that, right?
no.
Because us as people, we run our businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we're starting to gain economic power, right? And it's something it's not, the highest of the high, but
Yeah.
we're starting to get noticed on that. They see the black dollar. They see that we really have some power if we really come together here, right?
Yeah.
So the reason I asked you this is because you're an entrepreneur yourself.
Yeah.
And how do you think that we could teach the communities how to empower themselves to be the same way?
I think that we need to go back to our indigenous roots. And I know that we may have burned the susu because everyone was doing a susu in 2020 but
Mhm.
they messed it all up with it was as a pyramid scheme type of thing, but it's not that. An original susu is when everyone puts money in the pot to help a family, to
Right.
help one another. I think that we need to get back into what that looks like. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. This is the most blackest city of
Yeah.
business that you would ever come into. We have black banks, black grocery stores, a million black barbershops, salons. We have, gas stations, name it. We have hotels, black owned, everything. But the poverty level is it turned into a classism. We
Yeah.
cannot learn wealth through our former white forefathers.
Yeah. I
We
agree.
we have to get to our indigenous roots of what wealth looks like in our village. This is why I said we have to get back to our village. Anytime donating to a nonprofit is one thing, but truly helping people get we always charging for how they like a class or something on how we learn how to do X, Y, and Z. um I think we need to stop that. I think we really need to begin to like, this is how I did it. You don't have to pay a class. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how I'm already making money on the product that I made. Why do you have to make more money and
To
charge our
give the person
people
a gain.
to
Right.
give them the
I've
gain?
always said that. I agree with you there 1000%, and I'm an entrepreneur myself. I'm a mini entrepreneur, but I'm an entrepreneur myself. And one thing that I don't have a problem with. Hey man, how do you get your LLC started? How do you get listen, this is what you do. We'll take these steps and do that. And then you need any help with anything else, hit me up. I got you. And I literally did that for a friend of mine, and now he's running his business. And I got more friends, but when they ask, I want to make sure I'm telling the right people that's going to take the steps and not just get the information and not do anything with it. And that's another thing that's important too. You want to make sure that people are going to follow through.
Yeah.
We must share for them to do it, push them. And our people need that push.
Yeah, I agree. We
Yeah,
are some creative people, got some
that's right.
ideas. Like today was the first day of I opened up a toy store, a
Really,
minis toy store.
tell us
Yeah,
about it.
at Charlie's Collectibles in Stone Mountain, Georgia. I was terrified today. Terrified because I never had a store before. I had online stores, but I never
Yeah.
but my love for look at I have a Lego city. All Legos.
Oh, that's dope.
My love for toys and Legos and collectibles and all of that stuff, and this is so out of what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like who I'm known for. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna throw myself out there. I love beading. I made these earrings. I make jewelry. This is also a part of my Native American culture. We do a lot of crafts and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But I was
very
like, let me
creative.
thank you. So I'm like, let me just put my craft side and my toy side together, and I make like charms and keychains and jewelry out of toys, and yeah, so it's called Royal Crown Creations. It's getcrowned.net, or you can follow me on Instagram, which is Royal Crown Creations with a Z. And yeah, and I just so it's one of those things like, it was like starting a store. And then so I was calling all of my friends that they do crafts and stuff and they have storefronts. And I'm all like, were you scared? Were you nervous? And just finding that village and finding that community. And it's crazy. I don't have a lot of people in that community that are like, that are like nerds. So any nerds out there, hit me up. But any like any nerds that are into, and I have a YouTube show with myself and Chuck Creekmer from All Hip Hop and Head Crack from Dish Nation. We're called the Certified Squad, and all we talk about is fandom and nerd stuff. So they're nerds like me, and we just talk about it. But yeah, so it was one of those things where I was like, okay, let me find my village. So I think what is also important is to find your village, find your community. But I think as a people, we really, really need to look at wealth and look at economics, look at it in a different point of view, and really look at it as a village. We
That's
have
right.
to help one another. We
Each
can't.
one teach one.
Yeah, because classism is, oh my God, classism is really high here in Atlanta. I have a brother that is the co-founder of Black Men Build, and he came out here to set up his chapter here. And he was like, I thought I was going to come into Atlanta and there'd just be Black excellence and I was going to get along with everyone Black. And he was like, man, I did not know that I'll be fighting my own people left and right. And I said, yeah, it's classism. It's really
Yeah,
bad. Yeah. So
it's crazy that
mhm.
literally last night and the day before yesterday, I started making a Black Lives Matter grassroots song.
Yeah. Ooh.
And I literally said in the song, we gotta just come together to fight all this fascism, this classism, and this racism. That's one way that we get past isms. So yeah,
I
you
love
know,
that. That's dope.
that's something that's been on my mind a lot. Once I get the hook together,
Yeah.
put it together, I'll send it to you, and you can
Thank
dump it in
you.
the car and play
Thank
it for
you.
folks if you want. But
Thank you.
that's something that I think that really works for us as Black people, right? Teaching through the music.
Yes.
I want to ask you something though.
Mm-hmm.
You was a part of the famous and historical Teen Summit. Yeah, you thought I wasn't going to talk about that one. What was that experience like? I watched that show faithfully.
You
I'm gonna keep
did?
it real.
Okay, remember when I do
And I
Ademo
watched
was
Travis
on?
Smiley too faithfully. It was crazy. We had a
Yeah.
great time on BET when it was black.
Oh man, yeah. Were you on? Did you watch when Ademo was on there?
When who?
Ademo.
Yeah.
That's when I was on there.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
a dancer. I was a dancer on Teen Summit. I was too old to be a posse member. I was like 19 years old. I think you had to be up to 18. So they had me
Okay.
be a dancer. So I was a dancer on there and a choreographer. And then I came in, just me being who I am. I'm like, we should change this up. We should have choreography and da 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 da. So they listened to me, and we did choreo, we did we kind of switched the way the dancers should look and had us on risers and all types of stuff. And then off after my first show on Teen Summit, the producer from Planet Groove was all like, I want you on Planet Groove. And so I ended up dancing on Planet Groove. And then the producer from BET Soundstage saw me and was like, we want you to dance on BET Soundstage. So every time you was looking at Teen Summit, Planet Groove, BET Soundstage from 1998 through 1999 for an entire year was me
Oh,
dance.
that's awesome.
And it was crazy. And yeah, and then what was so crazy was it was Viacom. Bob Johnson was selling BET.
Oh, so that
And
was right around the time the merger was about to happen.
so it was 2000. I got mugged by a guy that looked like Denzel Washington. um,
Wow.
and that he jumped on me at the bus station, at the bus stop, and took my little coins that I had. I was like so terrified. It was like I was on my way to BET to go film. It was like 5 in the morning or something. And I was terrified. I stayed in the house for like 2 weeks, wouldn't
Oh,
leave. And I
man.
was like, I'm going back to Arizona because I'm originally from Phoenix, Arizona. So I was like, I'm going back to Arizona. So my mom was like, okay, come on. So I go back to Arizona. I get a call from the producer from Planet Groove. And he tells me, he's all like, I got a new concept of a show I'm about to pitch to BET when they do this merger with Viacom. And I'm like, you don't even know if you're gonna have a job after this merger. He's all like, no, he said it's gonna be like TRL, but for black folks, and I
Yeah.
want you to be the host. And I was all like, man, I'm in Arizona. Call me if it actually comes around. 6 months later, no, 7 months later, I see 106 in Park hosted by Free and AJ. So
Yeah.
he was thinking about me for that host for 106 in Park. Imagine if that would have happened. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
but it
trying to
was,
bring that feeling back a bit, even though
yeah,
we're in this virtual world now. I'm
yeah,
trying to bring that feeling back where
yeah.
we, bring the hip hop music and still talk mental health.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
You
I
know,
think that is important. I mean, this generation doesn't understand how important Teen Summit was. Teen Summit
very
was
important.
such a, oh my, it was live every Saturday. It was not pre-recorded. It was live. So every mess up, everything you saw. I just recently was trying to get them to reboot Teen Summit, or at least do a documentary on Teen Summit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, television, everything has changed so much. So in regards to like pitching new concept shows and stuff like that, I don't know how that will go. But yeah, I think a
Well,
new,
listen, tell them you know a host that's
yeah.
energetic
I
and we'll
would.
get it going. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
yeah,
but
uh,
yeah.
here's my next question.
Mm-hmm.
Hip hop for Haiti, hip hop for Flint. How did those events use music as a form of collective healing?
Um, Let me see. Hold on a second. Um, okay. Um, I would say, oh man, Hip Hop for Haiti and Hip Hop for Flint. So Hip Hop for Haiti happened when I was on tour with Raekwon. When I got off a tour, I just did 32 cities with him. And I saw the earthquake happen in Haiti. And I'm looking on the news and I'm seeing all these Haitians saying, someone help us, someone help us. And I ended up going on social media and I said, I want to do a fundraising event in my city for the people of Haiti. And then I put hashtag hip hop, the number 4 Haiti. People, because I had a following from people that just saw me in their city, they
Right.
all was like, they all was all like, we want to do one in our city. And I'm all like, how am I going to organize one in your city? And so this was like 2000. Yeah, this is like 2010. And so at that time we had Ustream. Do you remember Ustream?
Yes.
Now we have this thing called StreamYard. We have all types of things,
That's
but
what we
back
on
then,
now.
yeah, right. But then we had Facebook and Twitter. We didn't even have Instagram then. We had Facebook and Twitter, and then everyone was using something called Ning, like whatever dot Ning, where you could stream on there. So we was using Ustream. And so I came up with this idea to do a fundraising event all on one day called Hip Hop for Haiti. Everyone thought I was crazy. They was like, what do you mean, like like all these cities are going to do a concert all on one day and everyone's going to go on their computer and watch it on Ustream? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, I don't get it. Like, a lot of people didn't understand. I said, we can make this happen. In 10 days I organized over 30 cities. Well, at that time it was 20 cities, to do a fundraising event all on one day called Hip Hop for Haiti. We partnered with Wyclef because he's Haitian, and to be able to get non-perishable items, not just money, but most importantly, like, we had to get all these items on ships. So I had to organize all of that, all in 10 days, called Hip Hop for Haiti. It was
Oh,
such a
that's
huge
cool.
success. We had so
You're
many
a rock star.
celebrities. Man, it was amazing. Like, we had, I mean, just looking at the way the organizers in New Jersey, New York, I mean, they had Africa Barbada. I mean, I'm sorry, it was
That's
dope. Like, it
awesome.
was hip hop. We had people
Legend.
in, yeah. We had people in Costa Rica doing, like, we're seeing what they're doing in Costa Rica. They would have like a little party happening. Like, we're able to go on hiphopforhaiti.ning and click on a city and see what everybody was doing at different times throughout the days because of the
Oh, that's
time.
cool.
And so people was like, you actually made this happen. And so now it's normal to see everyone doing something using, Facebook Live and Instagram and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, now it's normal. Fast forward, now we have Instagram. And my friend called me and said, "Hey, my niece is in the hospital with lead poisoning in Flint." And I was like, "Because of the water." That's what he said. And I said, "What do you mean because of the water?" Like, I didn't
Yeah.
understand. I said, "I'm coming up there." And I was like, "I'm coming up there to Flint, and let me, like, teach me what's happening." So I go up to Flint, and they're explaining to me about the pipes, and there's lead in the pipes, and I'm like, well, just like get a water filtration system. And they're like, that doesn't work. And I'm like, it has to work. So I'm at the mayor's office. I go to the bathroom and I wash my hands. Well, I'm about to wash my hands. There was tape on the thing, like, you cannot turn on that water, but it was all of these water bottles right next to the sink. That's when it hit me. I was like, imagine a mother with 6 children, or just a mother with children in the house, having to constantly yell at them and say, do not use that water, and
Yeah,
having
that's
to
hard.
bathe, feed, and do everything you need with water, with bottled water. Everyone was getting bottled water, and I said, not me. I gotta find a filtration system that actually takes the lead out. So many people once again thought I was crazy. I've always been known as like, I don't think, like I think of something and everyone's, that's impossible. I don't think you can do it. Give me a challenge, I could do it. So I called every filtration system and I told them, send your filtration system to Flint. If yours work, we get it tested. And if yours work, we're going to buy these we're going to buy by the cases of these filtration systems that actually take the lead out. Did you know that there was a company that was only 10 miles outside of Flint? We had someone do test their filtration system, and that was the one. It was, and he passed away, may God be pleased with him, that owner. But that was the one that actually took the lead out. And the
Mm.
type of filtration system it is reverse osmosis water filtration system. Every from Brita to Pure, PUR,
Yeah,
to
PUR.
Brita.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone sent their filtration system to Flint. None of them passed. None of them. The only one was this guy with his reverse osmosis water filtration system. He actually had it where you could have plumbers put it on the side of the house, or you could have it as shower filters or sink filters.
Mm.
And about it took about a month because we had to get all that, find out what filtration system worked. But I had over 35 cities, not just in America, but globally, do a fundraising event all on one day called Hip Hop the Number 4 Flint. And we
Mm.
was able to get, until this day, they still get, the plumbers still change these filtration systems out, but we was able to get at least over 200 homes with these water filtration systems in their home
That's
by the
amazing.
money that we raised and by the fiscal sponsor of the church that we worked with to make that happen, and the plumbers that volunteer their time to make these filtration system happen. And because I said I do not want to disrespect the people of Flint by sending them bottled water and thinking that that's going to be okay for them to
Yeah,
be
they
able
need
to.
something for the long haul.
Yeah, yeah, like I just was like, no, there has to be a filtration system. And we made it happen and we made it work. And so, you know, I think those are the type of things that and then after that we did hip hop. I did hip hop for the people, which was hurricane relief for Texas, Florida, and the Caribbean. My friend was in St. Thomas and she was on Facebook Live while during the hurricane in St. Thomas. And she was like, I need your help, sis. And so I was able to get, have Pastor Jamal Bryant help me with getting pallets to the people of the Caribbean and St. Thomas. We did hip hop for the people. I did hip hop for NOLA when New Orleans had their hurricane. So the hip hop four things have just been a constant, doing fundraising event all on one day. Many celebrities, activists, organizers, or just even people that see my post that's like, I want to help. Those are the things that until this day, all those organizers, the way that I organize, I always create a family atmosphere. And it's a beautiful thing to see all these organizers still working together. There's an event that's happening right now as we speak with 19 Keys. He has Kira J. He has Nadira, who is a singer. He has a couple of other people, but they all met during one of the events that I organized of
Oh, that's
Friendsgiving
awesome.
with Revolutionary Healing. It's beautiful to see just how when I bring people together and then they continue on doing more things together, just because of the atmosphere and bringing everyone in that space for something. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would say that's it's people that they feel great when we do these things of the people that we're helping. And it's crazy because when we did hip hop for Haiti, Flint were the ones that put on an event for the people of Haiti. And then
Oh,
in
wow.
turn, we end up having to do hip hop for Flint. New Orleans turned up for the people of Flint. And then when they had their hurricane, Fiend was all like, sis, we need your, Fiend from No Limit was like, sis, we need your help for the people of NOLA. So we did hip hop
Yeah.
NOLA. So it's just like, these cities have stepped up and they didn't know that it was going to happen to them. And it did end up happening, to them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm a hurricane survivor as well. So
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
lost my first home and car to Matthew.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where was that in the where are you at?
Carolina. Yeah, North
Yeah,
Carolina.
you know what? They wanted me to do one for that was just recently, right?
A few years back.
Yeah, the people of New Orleans, I'm sorry, New of Carolina, they what is that small town? They always has a big festival.
There's a couple. This Lumberton is one, and
Uh-huh.
then they do one in Fayetteville, Lumberton, and Pembroke.
I think it's
So
like over there. I forgot. God, it's at the tip of my tongue. But they turn up every year for hip hop. Every time I do a hip hop 4, and they wanted me to organize one for them, and I just did not have it. I was all like, I am over. I think it was last year or the year before last when you guys had that big hurricane.
yeah, the
I
year before last we had another hurricane. Yeah.
Yep, yep. They wanted me to because oh man, they organized like hell for these other, and they wanted everyone to step up. And I'm like, I don't think anyone has the capacity. I didn't have the capacity, so unfortunately, we could not help.
Yeah.
And I pray that you guys were able to get the help you all needed.
Yeah, things were okay. Luckily, this time, the second time around, my house was not affected.
Oh wow,
Thank the Lord for
good.
that.
Yes, yes.
But but yeah, the first time, my first home, I'm from Philly originally.
Yeah.
So when they were saying, "Oh yeah, it's a hurricane coming," I'm looking at the rain like, "Oh man, this ain't nothing. This just light rain or whatever." And
Yeah.
next thing you know, we getting flooded out.
Oh my God. That is a scary thing to
Levee
be.
broke, and it was just mayhem. Everything was underwater. So
My God. My God.
yeah. All right, 2 more questions for it because I know you got to go. Last
I
2
do.
questions.
My medication starts to kick in, so that's another thing too. So if I start slurring and
That's okay. I understand. That's why I want to get you. I want to get you out of here real quick. I just got 2 more questions.
okay.
Okay. You face personal adversity, but
Oh, yeah.
continue to heal others. How do you refill your own cup?
Oh man, finding things of self care. Look at like all of these Legos, like finding something to do that is like having me just be in a place of like not putting my phone down and just and being still, being quiet. I think that my friend, she's a therapist. She said to me in one of our revolutionary healing, she said sometimes meditation doesn't have to be just being still and being quiet. Like, meditation can be something that's just like something that you're just zoning out. It could be drawing, it could be reading a book, it could be, doing puzzles, or like Legos are like a puzzle for me. So that's, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like
You're
or,
breaking up a
so
little
it's
bit.
that.
There you go.
Oh, can you hear me? Does
Yeah,
that sound okay?
yeah. There you go.
Okay.
You're breaking up a little bit.
How's it now? Because you
Say some.
sound crackly too.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Uh,
Still sound crackly.
Hold on. Let me do this.
What about now?
It's a little better. A little
Okay.
better.
So, yeah, I would say that, and then taking walks is important. Of course, prayer. My ancestors, I know my spirit guides and ancestors, be tired of hearing me constantly repeating myself on a whole bunch of things. I'm just constantly talking to them, you know. I do. I'm a strong believer in that, you know, but yeah, so just that, you know, taking drives and just trying to remain quiet and just asking God, talk, you know, just talk to me and let me get quiet so I can hear your voice, you know.
That's right.
Yeah.
Listen, I understand that a whole lot. And this is my last and final question.
Okay.
All right. This is my closer question, so I'm gonna do a solo cam for me.
Okay. Okay.
If it's one thing life has taught you, what is that and why?
Don't sweat the small stuff and live your life to the fullest. Oh, no, that too. Our life, my mother used to say this, our life is a gift from the Creator. What we do with our life is our gift back to the Creator.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, Queen YoNasDa, y'all. I want to thank you for coming. I got your name right this time.
Thank you so much.
But I want to thank you so much for coming. Thank you for, you know, blessing us with your time. And I pray for you. I will pray for you every day. And you're such a great spirit. And thank you for everything that you do for the community. You know, your boots on the ground, your activism, you're helping others, caring for others. Listen, you're awesome.
Thank you.
Oh,
Just a reflection of you.
I hope this isn't the last time we get to, you know, do this.
It won't. It won't. We'll do it again. Let's do it again for November for Native American Heritage Month.
Let's do it. All right. All right. So, anything you want to say to the people before you get off?
Yeah, just follow me, Queen YoNasDa, YoNasDa, and just walk this journey with me. I'm on this journey right now, so just walk it.
That's right. Walk this journey with her, y'all. Walk this journey with her. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I will hit you later on. We're going to talk about this episode.
Okay, all right. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Okay, all right. Peace.
All right. Folks, the queen came, the queen went. And as always, you already know, this episode was brought to you by Hollywood TV, Hollywood Radio, Dollar Radio, Going In Radio, and the podcast with Tigmatic, DemaniBrand.com, North Shade Demore, Boutique.com. Listen, go on the site, y'all. Get what you like. Clothes, shoes, watches, even other accessories, headphones, anything you need. Listen, we a small company, but we're growing. Black owned, and we moving and booming, y'all. Listen, I want y'all to have a great night. Put God first. Keep loving your life and grow. I thank y'all for watching once again, and it's your boy. Before I close it out, you know, we got a little bit of time frame going. So for me to end the show, I'm going to play a little tunes as we go along. So sit back and relax, and we'll be back.
We coming in from the door, man, on folks them. Y'all already know, cuz. Yeah, 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 hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, yeah. like I'm godly. Sushi gon' come with wasabi. Fresh off the steps of the porch. I walk out, get in a Porsche. Know that I'm using the force. Know that I mastered the course. Known as the plug and the source. Haters, they feeling remorse. This for my dogs in court. That's facing the judge and the jury. My brother, he made it in sports. And that's why he rock all that jewelry. She can remember me now. Know that my vision is blurry. I got these racks on me now. Know that the money done carry me. Know that I'm lit in my city. Know that I'm hot. Know that we poppin', man. Everybody chasing that cloud. Running their mouth. Know I really feed the game. We on the beaches and right off the coast. Down here in Florida, we doing the most. The hustle on South Beach is like a LeBron. You call it a pound and we call it a bomb. We at the lick and I'm working with chicken. Shout out my nigga from Memphis, they chicken. For my dog and themselves, know I know that they listening. Yeah, I'm on a new level just like I'm Hendrix. Straight from the gutter, we come from the trenches. We ball on these niggas, they sit on the bench. They using the style and I swear I ain't lending. We pushing the P and the P is for profit. They watching and listening, now look how they copy. They hate and respect it, but gotta acknowledge me. Know that a nigga be doing a lot. Know that I'm lit in my city. Know that I'm hot. Know that we poppin', man. Everybody chasing that cloud, running their mouth. Know I really feed the game.
Hey G, what's up? Doing good. You see that going?
I really want you. I really want you. I really want your pepper soup. You caught my attention. My eyes on you, baby. Beautiful distraction. With me, I like it, go. I salute to the way that you shaking your boots. Hope you catching the shot that they shoot. So what's the deal? If you show me the mind, calling you from 6 to 9. Cause now you ain't in my mind, spoiling you from time to time. Give you stroking bind to bind, calling you from 6 to 9. Cause now you ain't in my mind, spoiling you from time to time. Everyone say, I got to let you go, go, go. But how can I leave without my heart? No, no, no. Everyone say, I got to let you go, go, go. But how can I see without my heart? No. I really want you. I really want to be with you. I really want you. I really want your pepper soup. I really want you. I really want to be with you. I really want you. I really want your pepper soup. Pepper soup. I really want your pepper soup. Pepper soup. I really want your pepper soup. Pepper soup. Right side front seat on my motor. Ride with you, my name no be solo. Shock up and it's not here, my polo. Both my side mirror, oh no, no, no. Oh, we are getting over no sweet oh. Monday, walk out in the sheet oh. Why oh, pepe soup. My belly's up, I don't need oh. Everyone say, I got to let you go, go, go. But how can I leave without my heart? No, no, no. Everyone say, I got to let you go, go, go. But how can I see without my heart? I really want you. I really want to be with you. I really want you. I really want your pepper soup. I really want you. I really want to be with you. I really want you. I really want your pepper soup. Pepper soup. I really want your pepper soup. I really want your pepper soup.
About 1:15 p.m. Southeast patrol officers responded to the 100 block of Manchester Avenue for a robbery that just occurred. When they arrived, they found a male suffering gunshot wounds, and that male was then transported.
To the Pop Podcast with Tigmatic.
About 1:15 p.m., Southeast patrol officers responded to the 100 block of Manchester Avenue for a robbery that just occurred. When they arrived, they found a male suffering gunshot wounds, and that male was then transported to the hospital.
I done made it out the struggle, I done made it out of my streets. I had days I seen brains on the concrete. I had days I came out and wasn't trying to speak. I had pain that remains under my feet. I had the rain switching lanes, old body. See me with her, ask me if I hit her, it's a probably. Catch a girl, freak 'em, used to hit 'em in the alley. Biggest in the room, you ain't even in the lobby. Back streets raised me, I'm a backstreet baby. I got that roll call with the street lights, niggas play me. I got niggas think I'm crazy, I got bitches think I'm wavy. I got mom dukes looking at me saying I got lazy. I got shit I gotta do, and there's ones I gotta do it for. I gotta make shit safe, run the corner store. I gotta make shit straight for the young boys. Keep them out the streets and out the reach of these dumb boys. Shit don't make sense, I'ma make moves. I'ma make hits like I'm Babe Ruth. We gon' take your chick out the Chris roof. I mean roof Chris, eat the cake too. This for all my brothers in them state boots. Miss you niggas, ain't no one that can replace you. To all the ones that's gonna feel like I done failed you. Survivor's guilt is real, that they when I tell you. I'm thankful, I thank every moment that I ever had with who ain't here. I pray to God daily that we make it through the years. Tell them that I'm grateful, I'm great. I'm greater than the hate that I'm getting thrown in my ear. No matter what they say, I'ma make it up out of here. We made it out of where they say they never make it out of. It's homicides, the news ain't always gotta say about it. They taking souls until their souls is getting taken out of them. They pride is high, they say they'll do it, I don't even doubt them. Yeah, I try to stand, they thinking mine clear. Tell them my clearing, it still ain't no fearing. Yeah, you done, but you ain't out of it, ain't over. You the definition of a soldier. I'm thankful, I thank every moment that I ever had with who ain't here. I pray to God daily that we make it through the years. Tell them that I'm grateful, I'm great. I'm greater than the hate that I'm getting thrown in my ear. No matter what they say, I'ma make it up out of here.
V-Ray's going too hard though. Don't cry, dry your eyes, take away hunger. When faith is low and trust is hard, take away drowned in the water, couldn't find you, no car, see a boat. Know why you ignoring me, yeah. Seen people blessed with my request, but now you gotta be teasing. Telling myself it's in due season, like I'm really believing. My blessing came once I realized delayed for a reason. You not hear me, yeah. Don't cry, dry your eyes till we go. When faith is low and trust is hard till we go.
Never plan ahead, live up in the moment. Put my trust in God, cause he never leave me lonely. I was trusting in my homies till he showed me they won't for me. I just wait on God, cause he'll remove them. Man of many talents, I just try my best to use them. Gotta feel my purpose, if I don't, my life was useless. This a different type of music, but who else was built to do this? I just wait on God and let him use me. When faith get low and trust get hard, don't cry, wait on God, on God, on God, on God.
Don't cry, dry your eyes till we go. When faith is low and trust is hard till we go.
Just wait on God.
Made up my mind that I can't be outside his will. That I'ma do nothing but trust him despite how I feel. When your emotions don't change your confession, it's real. You gotta keep your faith strong. That's the simplest I know. Guard what you look at and what you let between your ears. God good, his showers of comfort outweigh all your stress. It's true, I had to share this good news to all my peers. Your timing, not his timing, and the spirit I heard him say. If he didn't do it, no, it's not because it couldn't be done. You just weren't mature enough to handle it. And he ain't just gonna bless anyone. Wait on God. Don't cry, dry your eyes till we go. When faith is low and trust is hard till we go.
let's go vibe in the sunshine. Flow like the wind and the breeze. Come and get closer to me, babe. Ooh, wee, baby, let's go vibe in the sunshine. Yeah. Catching a wave, sun shining all on our faces. We done been all type of places. Travel the world, we look down on the world. Clouds in the sky, I make you feel so alive, yeah. Baby, no worries, no cries, yeah. I put you on to the vibe, yeah. It's no better feeling than you being next to me. Leaving footsteps in the sand
can make you feel at peace. Ayy. Ooh wee, baby, let's go vibe in the sunshine. I say, ooh wee, baby, let's go vibe in the sunshine. Flow like the wind and the breeze. Come and get closer to me, babe. Ooh wee, baby, let's go vibe in the sunshine. Yeah. Girl, I come in like the tide, surfing the waves and we ride, yeah. You have the time of your life, yeah. Watching the sun as we rise, yeah. You're mesmerized. Love how our spirits align, yeah. You make me feel so sublime, yeah. You got the glow, girl, you shine, yeah. Listen to the sound of water crashing on the shore. This is what it's like with a man that's mature. I can give you feelings that I know you never felt. Sitting in the sun and your heart start to melt. It's a vibration when your hand touch mine. Girl, you're so vibrant and I love how you shine. Just enjoy the moment cause it feels so divine. This the kind of vibe that everybody wants to find. Hey. Ooh wee, baby, let's go vibe in the sunshine. I say, ooh wee, baby, let's go vibe in the sunshine. Yeah. Flow like the wind and the breeze. Come and get closer to me, babe. Ooh wee, baby, let's go vibe in the sunshine. Yeah. Ooh wee, baby, let's go vibe in the sunshine. I say, ooh wee, baby, let's go vibe in the sunshine. Yeah. Flow like the wind and the breeze. Come and get closer to me, babe. Ooh wee, baby, let's go vibe in the sunshine. Yeah.
To the Pop Podcast with Tigmatic.
What's up, y'all? Tune into the Pop Podcast with Tigmatic.
For the Pop Podcast with your boy Tigmatic. Interview.
Pop Podcast, stirring the pot.
So tune into the Pop Podcast with Tigmatic on Caliwood TV.
Tune in to the Pop Podcast, my boy Tigmatic.
And going on radio. You might get some good music and some knowledge.